from Samantha Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create faux pool water. So, first what you're going to need is a little ceramic tile and liquid clay. Now, Kato is the best liquid clay for this. I haven't tried it with other liquid clays, and I don't think it will work with other liquid clays simply because they're not as translucent or shiny, so I'd recommend Kato Liquid Clay for this. The first colour you're going to be using is white, and I want you to take that and spread it out very, very, very thin. So let me angle that. I'm not sure if the camera's going to be able to pick up how thin that is. But it's like literally just a smudge on the tile. It's thick enough that there aren't any gaps, but it's really, really thin. I'd say like less than 1/2 millimeter thick. So I'll pop that to the side. We'll work with that in a second. Next, you're going to need some blue Kato Liquid Clay, and just pop it down. And we're going to have to mix up colour here to get the right colour that we want. So you want probably around, I'd say, 8 parts blue to 1 part green, and then probably around another 8 to 10 parts translucent. Okay, and that's roughly the colour recipe. I generally will do it. It doesn't matter too much if you don't get it on point with the colour, but that's generally the right measurements. You should get this kind of smoky blue. And it only looks kind of smoky and almost dirty looking right now. Don't worry with that, because it will be completely translucent once we bake it, and once we add it with the white and it clears up, it looks much better. But yeah, you're kind of looking for the smoky, almost light denim colour. So there we go. Again, don't stress about getting the colour absolutely perfect. Then we're going to bring this over, and you're also going to want a ball tool. And you're going to use a ball tool because it's going to give you a lot of control. And you're just going to dot in colours like so, and try to vary the size of your dots. So I've got a bunch of small ones there. Now I'm going to add in a big one, and you're going to add a few small ones, and then just continue going until you've got a fairly large amount. Okay, and there we go. That should be enough. I'm going to be using this little metal finding as a bezel for our piece later once it's baked, so you just want to make sure that it fits whatever you're going to be using. Now I just want to point out over here where the liquid clay gets quite a bit thinner, you're going to end up with a different effect than where it is where the white clay is thicker. So just bear that in mind. You're going to get different effects depending on how thick your base white is. So you're going to put that into the oven for at least 30 minutes at Kato Liquid Clay's recommended temperature. Bake it fully. Keep this because you want the exact same colour that you have over here. Once this is baked and once it has cooled, then we can move on to the next step. Okay, and here it is out of the oven. So now we're basically going to repeat the process. You're just going to take white, pop a little bit down, smudge it over the top to where it's kind of like a foggy appearance, so that's not quite enough. You want it to just kind of have a foggy appearance, and that's where it will be enough. You want to still be able to see the pattern underneath clearly. Like so. And then all you do is simply drop your clay. You basically repeat the exact same process as you did before. So I'll just make sure that I get a nice, clean, even coat here. There we go, that will work. Then, like before, grab your liquid clay and drop it over the top. And once that clears up, you're going to have a really nice multi-layered pool effect. And then of course we're going to bake afterwards. There we go. Then you'll bake that for another half an hour, get it to clear up, and then while it is still hot we are going to cut out our shape. Make sure that you have a craft knife that is as sharp as you possibly can. It will make cutting through the liquid clay much easier. And you want the liquid clay to be hot, so get it straight out of the oven and then move on to the next step. And here it is straight out of the oven. So you can see how that has cleared up beautifully. So then grab whatever your piece is going to be, press that down. Careful, this is quite hot if you've just got it out of the oven, but that will just make the process easier in general. Just hold down the metal frame and trim around the outside. And please be careful because it is very hot. Just trim around like that. Okay, and then once you've got that trimmed out well, you should be able to pick this up and keep a hold on the metal frame so that if you didn't trim it out perfectly, it doesn't just lift everything up. And then just move away any excess that may be left, because generally there is a little bit because it's hard to get everything. Okay, and just tidy it up. Then once you've done that, hold this down and trim out your hole. And just make sure you've got a nice firm hold on that. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to keep that stuck down on the tile because I don't want to move it around or anything like that. And then you're going to bring over your UV resin. And now in this next step, it is very important not to overfill your resin. You just want a little bit, like so. And your goal is just to kind of create a seal, because if you try to spread all of the UV resin over the surface right now, you're going to end up with massive spills between the liquid clay and the resin. So please don't overfill your resin. I might even end up with spills here. I'm trying to avoid that. So just add a very small amount of resin. If you have too much, you can always just remove the resin to clean it up and start again. But I'm just kind of tapping it around the surface. Okay, and I am probably going to end up with spills, but that's okay. I can always trim those away. Just make sure that you only have a small amount of resin so that the spills are minimal. This is a little bit of a finicky process. Okay, and I've tapped the whole way around. Then you're going to pop that onto under the UV light for about 5 minutes. Okay, and there we go. And if you've got spills around the edges, because it might weep out the edges, just use your blade once it has cured to trim it out. If you've got a nice sharp blade, it should not be too tricky. Also, if the resin gets in the hole over here, don't worry, we can easily drill through that. That's not a problem. Now that your resin has set, you can go in with a bit more resin, and this time kind of create yourself a bit of a dome, because you shouldn't have spilling this time around because you've created a seal with that resin. And that's why I'm saying use as little resin as you can on that first layer So you just create a seal. There's not a lot to trim away, if any. Sometimes you don't even have to. The test piece that I made before this, I didn't actually have to trim away any resin. So just use as little resin as possible. Use a brush to brush it over the surface and just focus the edges, creating a seal. I can't stress that enough. And then come in after that's cured and you've cleaned it all up and add your nice finishing coat. And you'll just end up with a much nicer piece for it. And you can see how beautifully the resin has brought the shine up on the metal finding that I've got here. It's cleared up the liquid clay and it's one of my favourite pieces that I've made. It's very elegant. And I mean, you could make this faux Larimar as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be pool water. This would pass as Larimar, I think, as well. But yeah, focus on getting air bubbles out if there are any, and then pop that into the UV light for, I'd say, about 15 minutes, just to completely harden it. And then when that's done, we can drill it and finish it off. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it out of the UV light, and there we go, that's how it looks. Then, while it's still sitting on the tile and is relatively stuck down, I'm going to drill this hole. Now this might be a little tricky because it is resin, and resin's quite hard, but you should be able to get it. I'm just being careful not to accidentally ding the piece because I have a habit of doing that. And I'm not pressing down too hard because you don't want to do that either, because you'll end up with issues that way. So just continue drilling down the whole way. It shouldn't take too long. Just keep going until you don't see any more of these flecks showing up. Then we're going to lift it up off the tile. Like so. Okay, and don't touch the top because it might still be a little sticky, and just go in from the back and just finish clearing up that hole. Get rid of that and we can string it. So I've got a chain here which I think will match nicely, the other end of my clasp, and a small jump ring to attach clasp, and then a larger jump ring to serve as our bail. So first we'll open up the jump ring like so, pick that little guy up, slot the jump ring through. Just bear with me for a moment while I do that. There we go. Close that up. String this through. And then open up the other one and attach your clasp. And there we go. Let me just, there we go, angle that so you can see it properly. And also, might as well zoom in so you can really see that piece. It turned out really well. And I actually made another piece, as I said earlier. I had a little test piece. And this one you can see is a little different because the actual blue colour is a bit greener. So you can see the difference between those two. And that's why if you do plan on making earrings, make sure that you use the exact same puddle of liquid clay that you made, because you're never going to be able to match the colour. That's just something that you're not going to be able to see, especially since your once the liquid clay has cured, it looks completely different to when it is not cured. So just make sure that you use the exact same puddle of liquid clay if you want to keep the same colour. But yeah, that's basically it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.